on this planet at any given time. That's because you don't get to start a business or to build a business. You are building yourself. And let me show you how. The biggest mistake everyone makes is by treating and perceiving your business as a product of your experience and expertise. So, in the most natural way, you would see a sum of your experiences and expertise and yourself as a tool that's shaping the business, and the business is the product, isn't it? It's kind of intuitive. Well, it's like it cannot be further from the truth. What's really happening is you will set up a business. And on day one, you will become the employee, the director, the assistant. You're making coffee, you're doing deliveries, you're doing literally everything. Yeah. And you are tasked straight away by learning all of those things your business needs, so you can be effective in doing this to support the business. So finding clients, selling them, delivering the service, finding new ones, and just goes on and on and on. So what it actually is, business just gives you a requirement. Yeah, we need more money, we need revenue. Okay, you need to learn how to market and how to sell, then how to deliver the service at scale, because with one client at a time, it's going to be a pretty short journey. So simply, you are learning every single day as a business owner all of those things your business requires so you can deliver them. And when you hit so you literally are the business at the beginning. There's no one else. And you are firmly stuck in the position of trading your time for money. Once you hit the barrier of, okay, there's only 24 hours in a day, I can't do more physically, it's impossible, I have maximized the process, it's impossible to go beyond this level, then you're going to start looking for other people. You need to buy their time so they can do the work you do, and you will either double this up or you will step one level up, become a manager. Also, a very different setting to appear in. Suddenly, you need to learn how to be an efficient manager, to look at KPIs, understand them, to be efficient in supporting the person on the job, because your job isn't to deliver anymore. You are not you're not the person doing everything. Your job now is to make sure the person who does the job from now on, since you hired this first employee of yours, you need to be efficient and effective in making sure this person has everything he or she needs. So again, you are learning. Again, new chapter in your personal development. So simply, those who understand this are the most successful people in business, because number one, they already know business is not about them. They needed to step out of the business so they can get their life back, and there actually is business beyond them trading their time for money. Suddenly it's about process, suddenly it's about things that are allowing you to measure the efficiency, and also allowing you to deliver your product or service in a way that is same every single time. It's predictable and dependable.
Wow.
Then it's just a matter of how many people you will add into the process, and you will stay on one level above and oversee all of this. Yeah. So in the first year, probably maybe more, depends on how quickly you will go through all of this. There's no business. There's just you maximizing the amount of money you can trade your time for. Only when you start hiring other people, only then there's a dawn of a business in your life, because suddenly you are forced to systemize, to even train someone else. Okay, this is how I'm doing. And you are faced with two options. Option number one will be, okay, so dear Mr. or Mrs. Or Miss, just follow me for 6 months, and after this, you'll have quite a good idea about what I am doing, and you probably will be good enough to go and do this on your own. Well, while you can do this, it's not the most efficient way of doing so, isn't it? So on day one, you will need to make a decision. Okay, how I am going to bring this new person up to speed. So what you need to do is to document what is it you're actually doing, and hand this over to this person. Hey, this is what I'm doing. This is how I'm doing it. Just follow this process. And when you do step 1 to 9, we will get 10 every single time. This what makes business predictable and dependable, and only this.
Hmm.
That's
Absolutely.
that's that growth journey that I'm talking about.
Hmm. And that, a lot of
Yeah.
that is past experience, because a lot of this is not stuff you can just get from a book. The biggest lessons I think that I've learned as an entrepreneur is the mistakes that I made and what I learned from those mistakes, and not doing it again. And these are things that you just can't go to school. And again, I spent a lot of time in school, but it's that type of experience that really sticks the best, that
Mm.
sustains you and kind of really prepares you for your future if you're going to stay in business. Because again, it's the resiliency that keeps you in. So even when you do have difficult times and you make those mistakes, you learn from them, you go forward having learned those lessons, and making sure that that's no longer in your future when you pursue your business efforts in the future.
Yes, but more
I
more
wanted this kind of.
importantly, yeah.
Oh,
Go ahead, Lance.
I was gonna say too. And leading into that, I was like, it's also another thing too, because there's sometimes that in business too that things aren't, shall I say the best way to say it, we don't take joy in it when a process everything's going good, we don't document it. So that's
Yes.
when usually when it's bad we document it, because it's like an incident report. That was so when things are going good we don't document it, so it's just kind of nature, and then when we need it to be repeated we can't get it because we don't document it. So we don't
Yes.
get what we expect, we get what we inspect, and then we can continue to get what we document. So that's a big thing too. And then also we have to take joy in profit, but don't forget the profit from the joy that we're having in what we're doing. So
Wow.
Loving this.
Yeah.
It's
Gems are being dropped here. Go ahead.
you have highlighted an interesting thing, and it's not that long ago we had a big fix with someone who was looking to scale up the business, and we have actually documented for this person. And hey, what is it you are doing by engaging this new person in like following you, and you are like shedding a bit of responsibility onto this person and say, okay, try do this on your own. Well, this is the shadowing bit, which I was talking about just a while ago. However, it's not scalable. It's not scaling. It's literally just replacing one person for another one. And it's a redundant step, which is absolutely unnecessary, because when you want to scale, when you want to grow your business, you should not be looking at replacing yourself, because you will only put another person in the same position and prolong the like dabbling around phase. What you need to be thinking and looking at is to multiply yourself. Yeah. So if you are hiring one person, why aren't you looking at, okay, why don't I hire 5? And suddenly you have a very different problem to solve, because to have 5 people shadowing you is not really possible, and you can't be equally effective in teaching every single one of them the same things. So instantly you have to document. You have to create a process where you will say to everyone, okay, you lot, this is what we are doing, this is how we are doing things here. Otherwise, if you don't do this, and you will just allow people to have fun, they will break your business on your behalf from inside. That's why so many businesses fail.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
So
that-
hopefully, if they've been in business and they've been documenting and paying attention to the mistakes that they've made and what they did right,
Yes.
which thankfully, in that way, I kind of was raised that way. I'm always looking for the lesson in everything. So, for me, it was just a normal thing to do. So you apply these things, you apply them, and it makes you better. It just makes you better. And it kind of extends your limitations, because if you had limitations on what you could do as you go on and you learn, then you realize, that limit can be busted right through, and I can set another goal that's beyond that one and reach that one. That's how you get that confidence and really go forward.
That's good stuff. Rob Howes is in the house. Rob, what's going on? Says great conversation. Listen, there's some great gems that are being dropped here, and I hope that folks, that either if you're watching this live or you're watching the replay, that you're taking notes. We're talking about, if you're just joining us, building an extraordinary business and what that looks like. What are some of the steps that you have to take? What's some of the thought processes that you have to have? What are some of the ideologies? How do you approach this thing? Let me ask you a question. I'm gonna start with Juan. Is there a space and time where you can clearly see that you've stepped over the line from ordinary to extraordinary? In your opinion, I'm not saying globally, just in your mind, is there a space and time where you're like, man, I'm in that other arena now?
See, that's something interesting, because that's the culmination of probably of everything that we've been talking about. It's actually going through that process of understanding the journey.
Yes.
It's just being able to actualize that journey in all aspects of what it means to be an entrepreneur, what it means to be in business. Because as Peter was talking, I was just reminiscing basically on my life journey, my personal life journey. And it was things that, I've had challenges, but I've had to find the solutions to them. And then I've had to begin to continue to build on what I've learned, not wanting to repeat them again. And so to be able to understand, when you get to a space in your mind where you have joy in what you're doing, in that process, you're beginning to actualize this journey, and you become you get to that space of that extraordinary place where, nobody can really, you're able to navigate just so clearly, and you know what you're doing, when you're doing it, how you're doing it. And you can put people in place that will absolutely allow your legacy to continue if you're not there. Because that's ultimately what a business is something that can run with you not being there.
Yes.
And so that's in a nutshell, when the business can run when you're not there, that's extraordinary. That's the essence of it.
Yes.
I love it.
That's the moment when a real business starts. And that's the thing. That's the importance of the journey. When you get to a point where you have your mind wide open and you understand it's not about you, because let's step back and look at it from technical perspective. What most entrepreneurs, a situation most entrepreneurs find themselves in when they want to sell their business and they haven't done it the right way, everything is dependent on them. And say, okay, well, you want to sell the business, whatever the size of a business, whatever the amount of money you are asking for, if you are the make or break element in the business, there's no business. Because when the investor asks you the question, okay, well, will you continue working for me? You will be like, well, what's the point of selling the business then, isn't it? Like, I want out. So this is where most businesses fail, because suddenly the weight, the legacy, the negative legacy of uninformed decisions made up to this point, like, drops like a ton of bricks. And it's impossible to solve it. And because you made it all about yourself, you haven't seen the right things that need to be done. Therefore, you prevented the real potential of the business to happen. And at this point, there's only like two ways of doing this. One is just quitting, and literally that's it, because you cannot live with the ton of bricks of failure personally, because it's all about you. So you will take it personally, find a job and continue working for someone else. Or another version of this is like put a sledgehammer through all of this and start from scratch again. But if you yeah, go ahead, Oliver.
Go ahead. Finish your thought.
If you haven't like cycled yet, cycling means you build a business, you broke a business, and now you know that it's not about you, because you are not on your Kool-Aid anymore. So simply, then the magic happens. Then you start thinking very differently. You start thinking about people, about process, about how things actually work and why. Yeah, this is the moment, this is the level where the real personal development starts bringing fruit. So simply, when this is the ultimate achievement which everyone should strive for. So you actually have a business which possibly makes more money when you are not in there than when you are. So it allows the legacy to exist because it's not dependent on you anymore.
Yeah,
That's good. Yeah. We're getting good info from this panel. And listen, you said something earlier, Peter, that that is a great segue along with what you just said here. Whether you're starting for the first time, or you're starting over for the second, third, fifth, 100th time, one thing you cannot do is go at it by yourself, and you can't recycle the same ideologies, the same concepts, the same habits that you did in the previous thing, because then you're going to end up adding to that ton of failure, right?
Yes.
And here's, you mentioned something earlier, and you mentioned the big fix, and this big fix, right? Which I can't seem to get that graphic right, but it's okay. This big fix.
Is that what that is?
We talked about a big fix, right? And I want to get into that a little bit more in just a second. The beauty of starting or starting over, because starting over is not a bad thing. Let's be clear about that.
Yeah.
Right. Starting over is not a bad thing. Starting over is a great thing. Obviously, it means you learn some things, and now you get a second chance at applying them differently. Right. It is phenomenal to have some folks around you who can provide some level of guidance, some level of support, some level of, hey, I've been there. Here's probably what you should be thinking about, kinds of resources that you should have around you. The big fix is something that provides that. And I, for those of you who saw the description, you saw that we were going to talk about a service that you can take advantage of. It is the big fix. Everybody that's in this grid right now has either done one or experienced one. I think both, actually, for all of us that are in the grid right now. I want you to talk a little bit about the importance of community as it relates to getting to an extraordinary business, because we talked about mindset.
Yes.
We talked about what our ideology should be like. We talked about some grassroots things that need to be done. We talked about some steps that need to take place as you begin to scale and grow. What's community mean to to building an extraordinary business?
Well, I think it makes such a big difference because, like I said, this is number 3 for me. And in the past, my idea was, okay, I'm going to create this business and this is what I want to do. And I'm just going to struggle and I'm going to be independent and I'm just going to figure it all out because who else can I go to? This is my business. I'm starting it alone. So I just thought you're supposed to struggle and fight and somehow you get success some type of way. I just didn't know, but I knew that I had a desire to do certain things. So to my surprise, I found out that grown people have mentors. Businesses have mentors. I did not know this, and I said this before. I was just that's one of the shocking things that I've learned in these last several years. And you think I'd know that by now, but I just didn't because mentors are not the easiest thing to find as an entrepreneur. I thought, but now with Love Entrepreneurs, here's a whole different spin on things. That's why it's more than networking. You're talking about having a platform of peers, of other entrepreneurs in different countries, not just in your own, that have various disciplines, not just the one that you have, because at the end of the day, business is business, regardless of what the genre of the business is. So here I am at this grown age going, oh, I thought mentors were just for the high school kids after school. That's what I thought. So now I'm like, you mean grown people have mentors? Business people have mentors? The most successful business people have have mentors? Why didn't I know this? And I also feel that because we're talking about adults having mentors, there's probably a certain amount of pride, a certain amount of you don't have to tell me anything. You're an adult and so am I know, and you can't tell me anything. But once you get control of that ego and you tell it to go sit over there so that you can have some gainful actual development happen in your business, that changes everything. And when you can get to that state of emotional intelligence and really tune into what it is you want to do, and once you do that, you're just going to attract other people who feel the same way that you do. And this is exactly what this International Business Fellowship is. The way that we all came together, it's going to be funny when we tell the stories, but it's like it was inevitable because we're just at this point in our evolution where we want success. We have the correct mindset for it, so nothing can get in the way of that. And then we're supporting each other. I can come and say, you know what? I've been struggling with this marketing question. Let me go hit up some people. And you come to Love Entrepreneurs and you have a plethora of people who will sit there, listen to you, give you some feedback, go off into breakout rooms and brainstorm on your behalf. You can't beat that type of fellowship. That's why we won't use the word networking. And not only that, we have our own currency. So we can get to keep more of our own cash in the kitty while we can still exchange currency and services and products amongst ourselves. I mean, this is an incredible concept for us to be bringing to the United States, especially right now, knowing what's happening with the US dollar outside of the US. So we kind of need to keep some stuff on reserves as much as possible. And when you can have this arena of professionals coming together, I'm telling you, the big fixes are so incredible because every time I'm there and I see the types of ideas that come out, because I think I'm all right, as far as brainstorming. But when you get together with all these other minds and they come up and say, hey, how about this? Think about this. And it's like, I'm always surprised that they come up with something I didn't think of. Not that I'm the mastermind, but I'm still surprised every time. Like, wow, I didn't even think of that. But when you have not just one mentor, but kind of a bunch of mentors that are your peers, not above you, not below you, but still with you, it's just this type of support is just phenomenal. And we need it
Incredible.
because we want to have more small businesses succeed and become medium size. And if they so choose, be large. And if they so choose, be mega, you
That's right.
know? But this is the type of unity and oneness in business that I've never really seen on this level. So I am elated to be able to introduce this concept and tell people that there's support for small businesses outside of governmental agencies and other companies out there that can help. But this is just a different concept because of the arrangement of the entrepreneurs and their vast knowledge and experience in various arenas. It's really cool. So I'm really glad that we can be here and shoot the breeze like this and just talk about things that we're passionate about.
It's awesome. And listen, if you don't know what Lisa's talking about in terms of this community that she's referring to, she's talking about Love Entrepreneurs, and Love Entrepreneurs is a business fellowship that is designed to help ordinary people build extraordinary businesses, which is what we're talking about right here. And one of the signature dishes, if you will, of Love Entrepreneurs is the Big Fix. The Big Fix is a scenario where you can sit amongst people like the people that are on your screen right now and a host of other professionals, entrepreneurs that are willing. Here's a key word. They are willing to give you their expertise so that you can build an extraordinary, willing to give you their expertise. Can I harp on that? I can't harp on that enough. Listen, let me shout out Carla Johnson, who was in the comments. Carla says she is taking notes. We see you, Carla. Thank you for being here. Carla says she's taking notes. She said, get control of your ego. Yes, taking notes. And thank you all for sharing. So listen, I want to just share something about the Big Fix. I want to share a testimonial of someone who went through this process where they sat down amongst entrepreneurs and were just poured into in a way that gave them some fuel, some energy, some capacity to move the needle in their business. And then we're going to come back and add another person to this panel as we wrap up in the next few minutes. We're going to add a key component to this Love Entrepreneurs family in just a moment when we come back from watching this little testimonial. Here we go.
Roll it.
So my name is Rob Howes, and I just had a fantastic session, the Big Fix with Love Entrepreneurs, and we did some big fixing. We found some areas to actually take a look at and open up and discover. We discovered some opportunities to bring more attention to what we're doing. And so there was a really fantastic dialogue. I'm looking forward to putting these things I learned and heard and the ideas I got and putting them into practice, because practice makes permanent. That's what I heard.
There you have it, folks. We're talking about the Big Fix, and who we have none other than the Illyri Coslet, who is here. She is the brainchild, along with Peter Russell, behind this business fellowship. Listen, since you're coming in, we're just going to put you on the hot seat right now. We just talked about the Big Fix. Tell us what the Big Fix is and why is it essential in this process of building extraordinary businesses?
Well, I think it's essential because two minds are better than one. That's the thing. And when I did my Big Fix, this wasn't my idea. This was an idea that a friend of mine had, and he dragged me along. And he said, hey, got this new concept, try this out. So there I trumped 70 people I presented my business idea to, which is now a tech platform. And I thought I knew it all. I thought I had it all licked, no problemos. How wrong was I? I had something like 73 ideas that people came up with. And the thing was, here's the thing, I hadn't even thought about them. They weren't even anywhere near my head. They weren't even in my contemplation. I thought, you know what? this is so helpful because everybody was really supportive, and they said, hey, if you do a bit of this, bit of that, if you meet this person, that, and it was just amazing. And I had never experienced this sort of real fellowship before, people wanting to help other people. Normally people wanted to sell things to other people and ram it down your throat, and I just thought, wow, this is awesome. We have to do this, we have to carry it on. So we did, and we have, and here we are. So, it's if you want to skyrocket your business into that fourth dimension, not just in business, but also have a fellowship with human beings that really care for each other and learn to love you, even when you can't love yourself. I think that's the thing. This is the place. It's cool. It's really, really great. I would say that's nice. Sorry, but
yes, you would say that. I'm sure you have. I'm sure you have some bias. However, if we put that bias aside, let me speak. And everybody in this room has done one. And so for those of you who might be watching now or watching the replay, this is not something that we're just kind of conceptualizing. This is something we've actually done. Matter of fact, my good friend Juan is fresh off of the hot seat. His butt might still be burning. I think I see. Hey Juan, I think I see some smoke over there still. I think
Hey, I wouldn't have had it any other way.
It was hot, for real. I went outside, it was so hot.
I wouldn't have had it any other way.
Yes, indeed. But this is a business fellowship, like Rob said. It's listen, I can tell you that coming out of that experience, you do not come out of that experience the same way you went in. When you come into that experience,
sometimes you do.
Well, sometimes you do. And you're right, sometimes you do. And we can get into why that is. But let me tell you why I said you don't. The reason why I said you don't is because when you come into that experience, you come in typically with a situation. You come in with a package, if you will. You come in with this thing that's important to you that you're holding in your hands, and you sit it in front of a group of individuals, and that group of individuals begins to look at it and turn it around and turn it over, and have you thought about this? And maybe you should add this here, and maybe you should take this off here. And when you leave, you may walk away with the same thing, but you have a whole new perspective about what that thing could be. And if we're trying to go from ordinary to extraordinary, we're talking about building extraordinary businesses, and we're talking about the fact that it starts here, and there's some significant things that have to happen between here and getting to extraordinary. You have to have people around you who are willing to do what these folk on the screen that you're watching are willing to do. You have to.
This is the thing. The best way to describe Big Fix is this. All of us are a product of an education system which has been designed and built in Victorian times for very different purpose, and yet it's still here with us. We have all gone through it. We have seen things happening. We have accepted this is the way, and we are not even questioning things anymore. Simply this is it. This is how everyone does it. What Big Fix does, it puts you in a position where me and Larry and a bunch of other people will come with jumpstart cables and short circuit this brain you have. Suddenly you have this big bang, everything goes boom in your head, and all of those dogmas and all of those concepts you had for decades often are suddenly gone. If you had been in a position before where simply you are drinking your own Kool-Aid and I'm the greatest, nothing happens whatsoever. You will walk out, live your life happily ever after, and simply this would be like a waste of an hour or two of your time, which is not the first, not the last time. However, what may happen, and this happens more often than not, when the big bang happens, suddenly like, oh damn, how about this? How about that? And you start being excited and stimulated by other people's creative thinking. Suddenly you see things you never seen before because of all of those barriers you had around you. So this is why it's so powerful, and this is why you need to get this experience. Otherwise, you would not even have an idea what's possible out there.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. And here's what we did not say. What we did not say is that you don't have to pay for it.
There's that.
Yeah, can we let that breathe for a second?
Yeah, we will short circuit your brain for free.
It is.
Pay good money for that, okay? In different ways, but I'm just saying.
It is free 99, and I encourage you to connect with us. I am live right now on LinkedIn, so all of these people on the screen are on LinkedIn. I like about 10 minutes in decided that I should also go live on Facebook and YouTube. So if you're watching this on either one of those, you can connect with me and we will get you in there. If you want to watch, if you want to come and be a part and contribute and give some ideas, maybe you have a plethora of ideas because you are already on the extraordinary side of business, then we welcome you to come. And this is an opportunity now for you to share and to give and to serve. For those of you who are starting over, for those of you who may be starting for the first time, this is your, let me think. So in the United States, for the UK, I don't know what you guys have over here, but this is your, man, what's a all you can eat place in Maryland? This is your all you can eat business development.
Golden Corral.
This is the Golden Corral. For those of you who are in the United States, this is the Golden Corral of business. Now imagine going into a place and you are hungry and you walk into a building and everyone in the building is like, there's food everywhere. Just eat. Imagine that experience. And then you go to reach for your wallet and they're like, no, get that out of here. Get that out of here. Just grab your plate, try this chicken, try this turkey, try this salad. And you walk out of there 50 pounds heavier than when you went in.
And happy.
That is the big fix. And happy. And your money's still in your pocket.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
it was Fogo de Chao. Fogo de Chao.
There you go. Now, and here's the thing. Imagine going to Fogo de Chao and not having to pay. Because I'm going to tell you right now, you go into Fogo de Chao, and right now, it's going to cost you close to $60 to eat. Now, it's all you can eat, but you're going to have to come out of pocket. Now, imagine getting all of this business development, all of this knowledge from people like Lisa and Aliri and Juan and Lance that was here earlier, and Peter, who these are not just folk that I brought in to talk about it. These are folk that when you show up to the Big Fix, you're going to see these faces again. Mm-hmm. And you're going to be able to hear from them. And myself.
And those out there that are watching, if you're going to be a part of this, then you get to see for yourself. It's regular entrepreneurs. So we have personality. This is not uptight at all. This is just us being our authentic selves and moving forward and helping others move forward at the same time.
Yeah, I love it. The other thing is, just very briefly, is that we build those 3 pillars too, don't we? The TAC team. We have a TAC team. You know, Oliver, you're involved in that. Lisa, you lead up on the mindset team. I'm sure Juan will be able to join you in that. Peter leads on the coaching and the business development side of things. I do a bit of financing. We even have our own currency, guys, that we, come on, what club do you know out there, what fellowship that really does believe in sharing, you know, experience, strength and hope, that can also boast to have its own currency that the members can use amongst themselves? How innovative is that? We don't just talk innovation, we do it. You know, we do it and we practice it in all our affairs. And I know that Peter's just about has come up with a really humdinger of a funding idea for the UK, but we will be looking at something intricate also for the US soon, because we'll be able to use our own currency to sort of start to fund our own businesses in amongst ourselves. How cool is that? So, you know, we do it all. We take you from zero to hero. And guess what? Here's the good news. If you want to go from hero to zero, Peter will gladly. If you think you have a desire to become ordinary again because you can't handle or hack the extraordinary, Peter will do it for you. He's good at this, aren't you, Peter?
Yeah, we're gonna achieve it in no time.
That's easy. That going that direction is easy. And listen, here's the thing. If you want to go the other direction, if you want to build an extraordinary business, you need to have, I can't stress it enough, you need to have a playbook. And you don't have to write the playbook on your own. You have individuals who are
Playboy
really...
then. I'm thinking, sorry, am I on the wrong show?
That's the late night live. That's the late night live.
It's late there.
Oh yeah, that's late. But yes, you don't have to build this thing on your own. So listen, we're gonna get out of here. Make sure that you connect with one of us, reach out to one of us in order to be a part of this. I want you guys to do something for me though. I'm gonna start with, let's do it in this order. Let's do ladies first. So Lisa, Larry, Juan, and Peter. I want you to just give a word of encouragement, a piece of advice, or just anything that you want to leave, a last word you want to leave with folk who are looking to build extraordinary businesses. And then here's the key. I want you to end whatever you say with, and you need to get a big fix.
Okay. What a parting gift that I want to leave behind with everybody. Just find some time for yourself. At the end of your day, any time of day, right now, in 10 minutes from now, just take a few minutes to just look up, just find some nature, whatever's closest to you, and just zone out to it. Just relax, just take in some deep breaths. In, hold it, take it in 5 seconds, hold it 5 seconds, and let it out. And just let the day just kind of roll off you. And just take in the now and just see how that feels. And get a big fix.
I love it. Thank you. Larry?
Dead ass. I mean that. I really mean that. It's necessary. Find peace. We gotta find it. Do you see all this?
You're right.
Stuff
You're right.
Outside? You gotta find time for you, or else nothing can come to fruition.
You're right. And we were talking, Lisa, we were talking about that earlier today in the session that we did earlier. So you are spot on with that advice. That's awesome.
Give love a chance. Give peace a chance. Give Lisa a chance. Anyway, no, my advice is I'm going to nick something, or nick is an English word for steal, from the wonderful, wonderful late Dr. Wayne Dyer, who I admire hugely. And he quoted from Chilopa, 4th century philosopher, I believe, where he said, be curious and explore everything. Be prepared to explore absolutely everything. But don't be attached to anything. So the idea is don't have contempt about the idea of investigating things. Investigate absolutely everything. It's very easy for us to turn around and go, oh, no. We have closed minds. I'm not going to explore that. How do we know? What if we got it wrong? What if by just taking 5 minutes to explore something, that could actually change fundamentally the rest of our lives, and also our business lives too, and the lives of those around us? So that's why I say to everybody here, it doesn't cost anything to do the big fix. It costs you nothing other than Peter's electroshock jump leads. It costs you nothing. So come and give it a go. You have nothing at all to lose. It's not a violent experience. It's not a shaming experience. It's a liberating experience that will liberate the true you within So come find out the magic and come and join us and get your big fix.
Here's your proof. Ancient philosophers stole the idea of a big fix from Larry long time ago, really, really shamelessly. You heard it here, folks, first.
That's what's up. Thank you for that. Juan, what you got?
Hey, real quick, it's just real simple. It's about connection. We need each other. Understand that business is about connection and that we need each other. Lisa had talked about it. Peter had talked about how we need to reprogram ourselves. We're not on this journey alone. And when we realize that we need one another, we can see the value in Love Entrepreneur. And that's what this is all about. It's the connection. And with that being said, get your big fix right here with Love Entrepreneurs.
There it is. Appreciate that. And to round us out, Peter, what you got?
All right, all right. So it's pretty simple. You have to understand and admit that nothing on this planet ever in the history has been built, anything was remarkable or great, has been built by someone who's been the only person on the remote island. Ever. It just doesn't happen. You will need people. So stop denying the reality, get a big fix, and become a part of a community that would help you identify and learn those things you need so you can get what you want.
There it is. And get a big fix.
Amen to that.
There it is. So listen, you've heard it here, folks. You've heard some great advice in this hour on how to build an extraordinary business. You've heard from great folks, Lisa and Lance, who was here earlier, Larry, Peter, and Juan. Thank you for being a part of this. You've heard some great things from them. Hope you took some notes and you were introduced to something that could help jumpstart the process to get you to that extraordinary mark, which is the big fix, by being a part of the big fix, experiencing this for yourself. So guys, listen, I want to thank you all. I'm going to put you in the green room just for a moment. Don't leave, because I want to come back and say goodbye to you. I'm just going to put you in there for a second, finish this show out, and then we'll talk in just a moment. All right. Thank you so much for you guys. Listen, let's give everybody a round of applause. That is awesome. 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 Thank you for being a part of this. And we'll talk in just a moment. Listen, you want to get an extraordinary business. You want to be extraordinary. Who doesn't want to be extraordinary? No one. I don't know anybody who woke up this morning and was like, you know what? I don't want to be extraordinary today. I just want to be, I want to be whatever. You want to be that, right? And listen, you heard some great ways to do that. You heard some ways to do that. And you were introduced to the big fix. The big fix is a scenario, is a place where you can get everything that you need in order to elevate yourself to the place where you want to be. So you got to get in the big fix. Make sure you schedule it. Everybody who was on the screen, you can reach out to them on LinkedIn. You can reach out to me as well on LinkedIn, or if you're on Facebook, or if you're on YouTube, you can reach out to me as well. Listen, I need to plug this real quick. We have something on Tuesday called The Life of an Entrepreneur. We want you to be a part of that program, The Life of an Entrepreneur. You can get that on YouTube. You can get that on LinkedIn. You can get that on my Facebook as well. The Life of an Entrepreneur, where these individuals that you see are sharing their journey of entrepreneurship, and they're giving you tips and tools and advice, and they're letting you know that you're not alone. You're not alone in this journey. You got some folk that are around you. You got some folk that are ready and willing to give you what you need to be extraordinary. So, what are you waiting for? And get a big fix. We'll see you next time.
My name is Lisa Brown. I am the Managing Director of Solutions via Cerulean LLC. And I just had my big fix and it was a great experience. There was a lot of great advice, information. It's been a long time since I've been in a brainstorming session like this, and I enjoyed myself. And I would implore you to come and try and get some insight from really great professionals who have a vast knowledge of different information and knowledge that can really help you in your business. So I highly recommend it. I enjoyed it, and I think I made some new friends.